It's that time again. Welcome to Press Pass Live, off-season edition. This is actually going to be, I think we're on like show 40 or something, so we're starting to get up there. A lot of shows here, and I'm excited to be with you. The off-season has progressed, and now we are sitting in the last stage of scouting before the draft, so a lot of good things are going to be happening here really soon. The draft is tomorrow night. 8 o'clock Central is going to be the pre-draft show. 8:30 p.m. we're going to start the draft. We're asking that we're going to skip anyone who's not on, and so we're asking that if you are on, that you make your pick as quick as possible. Just because that's going to make for a really late night. I think next draft we're actually going to start earlier. I know it sucks for the West Coast guys to have it early, but we just can't ask the East Coast guys to stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning. So we're all figuring this out, trying to work together. This is the time that we voted for. Would have been nice to knock this out on Friday, but we're going to have it on Sunday, and it's going to be a good time. So what I'd like to do is kind of go through a couple of league signings, see if we can recap. Usually it comes up right here. We get a little recap before the draft starts, but looks like that is already gone. So we're going to come over here to signings. We're going to just walk through this a little bit. It's been a good offseason so far. Guys have been keeping up. A couple of teams out there super quiet during their offseason, but that's what they choose to do with their teams. The draft is always one of my funnest things that we do, just because you get to really see how the draft is going to unfold and what guys are going for and what they're looking for. So let's just walk through a couple of free agent signings here. We'll cover some some franchise information with the test sliders. I think we're really close with that. We'll touch base about that, and then we'll talk about what the draft is going to look like. Should be a really fun night. So the Lions signed Ryan Khalil to a 2-year, $9.86 million contract. They were in the Super Bowl this past year, and they're really looking to shore up that offensive line. They actually had a deal in place with the Bills for Incognito, but he way overpaid. The board didn't approve it, and the Bills are kind of sticking to their guns of what they're asking for. So this doesn't look like a deal's going to be worked out there. The Buccaneers signed cornerback Terrence Mitchell to a 2-year, $2 million contract as they kind of bring him in to help shore up that back end of the defense. The Browns signed Nicholas Grisby, 2-year, $2.34 million contract. Patriots signed Will Hill. This is kind of funny. We told guys not to sign him. He's actually got a career-ending injury and probably not going to play ever again. So not quite sure what the Patriots were doing there. Maybe he just didn't see that, didn't keep up this offseason, but he's going to be eating that contract because he is stuck with it. The Bengals signed wide receiver Adonis Parker. I think that's a really good signing. That is the rookie. Now I'm realizing who that was. I had a bid on him. He's actually the rookie import, so I'm glad that everybody pulled their bids on him. That's a really good player, and I'm glad the Bengals were able to work that out and keep him. Bears are going to sign linebacker Christian Jones to a 2-year, $6.7 million contract. A lot of guys got big contracts that are going to be backups, but then there are a lot of guys who are rated really high who got really low contracts as they were so old and guys just didn't put deals on them. Eagles signed punter Jacob Skim, 3 years, $2.4 million. The Vikings take punter Fields to a 1-year, $700,000 contract. Patriots take left tackle Taron Jones to a 3-year, $3.48 million contract. The Colts signed Arthur Jones, defensive tackle, 1-year, $1.5 million or $1.53 million contract. Ravens take wide receiver Rashad Green. Patriots signed Glover Quinn, free safety. The Patriots have been really active this offseason, especially in free agency, really just starting to shore up some of that depth issue that they felt like they had. Really good team. Was the best team in the AFC going into the playoffs and just stumbled a little bit in a tight game in the playoffs. So he's really looking to shore up that depth there, have a solid year to come back. The Lions signed right outside linebacker Joshua Bynes. Rams signed left outside linebacker Andrew Wakar. Packers signed fullback James Delvin. Patriots signed halfback LeGarrette Blount. So LeGarrette Blount coming back for another 2-year, $3.1 million contract with the Patriots. Chargers signed left guard Joe Berger. Lions signed punter Andy Lee. Packers signed left outside linebacker Pritch Shambo. think this is a really good signing. 3 years, $7.5 million. He still needs a little work. He is getting up there. I think he's 27 years old. But that guy could still make the corner and make some plays for you if you let him go rush the quarterback. Browns signed right guard Travis Bond. Eagles signed halfback C.J. Spiller. Packers signed defensive tackle T.J. Barnes. I think that's a nice depth piece there for the Packers. Colts signed cornerback Leon Hall. Wouldn't be surprised if they move him to safety. Rams signed left end Chris Long, so they bring Chris to come back, probably finish his career in Los Angeles. The Colts signed tight end Anaste Cleveland to a 1-year, $1.79 million contract. Packers signed right guard Jeremiah Postasi. Buccaneers signed right end Junior Gillette, another guy that might be able to make the corner and get after the quarterback for the Buccaneers. They also signed quarterback Brian Hoyer, just for a depth guy there to have a good solid veteran backup. Colts signed center Austin Blythe. Patriots signed right outside linebacker Malcolm Smith, a really good player. I'm surprised they didn't get a lot of play, I should say, in the free agent market. He does get a 3-year, $4.35 million contract, so the Patriots get him on the cheap, nice, solid backup guy that can make plays and run around for you. I figured the Browns would be a guy that was going to be a player after him. They really feel like they've got to redo that roster back there, and they're just surprising. The Browns signed right end John Simon, 3-year, $13.7 million contract. Patriots signed Carson Palmer, 1 year, $4.36 million. He can still throw the ball. I think he's good for at least another year. That guy can still play. Browns signed right tackle Rob Havenstein. Patriots signed left guard Ronald Leary, another guy that can be a good backup, even a starter if you need him to. They also signed tight end Marcellus Bennett. They bring him back for 3 years, $7.11 million. Browns signed defensive tackle Mike Martin. They also signed wide receiver Justin Hunter from the Titans, 2 years, $1.58 million contract. That's a nice contract for a receiver. Big, tall guy, red zone threat, should make some plays for them. Panthers signed right tackle John Wetzel. Lions signed tight end Jace Amaro, a guy who's got some speed there on a 1-year contract, might be able to come in and make some plays and earn a little bit longer contract there with the Lions. Redskins signed Mario Williams to a 1-year, $2.65 million. He regressed a lot, but did make some plays for the Falcons last year on a very good defense. The Packers signed halfback Arlene's Darwakwa, 3 years, $3.84 million, a guy that can still make some plays. Wide receiver Aldrick Robinson goes to the Broncos. Strong safety Barry Church goes over to the Colts. Buccaneers signed Justin Bethel to a 2-year, $4.76 million contract. Ted Ginn still trying to make some plays. He's going to take a 2-year deal with the Lions. The Buccaneers signed left outside linebacker Sam Ocho to a 1-year, $3.7 million contract. That guy can still run with the best of them. Should be able to plug and play him on the outside if you want, but he can also bump into the middle if you want him to. Buccaneers signed right guard Luis Vasquez, another guy that can still make some plays on the interior offensive line. He gets a 1-year, $2 million contract. Panthers take left tackle Darrell Williams. Panthers signed center Eric Wood away from the Bills. Panthers signed center Jothan Harrison. Redskins take defensive tackle Kendall Reyes. Browns signed free safety Robert Blanton. I know he's really looking to shore up that defensive back four. Matthew McCanish, I should say, left tackle, goes over to the Colts. The Vikings signed Jermaine Gresham, tight end. Redskins signed Drew Brees. He's still going to try to make some plays, and the Redskins liked him, gave him a 1-year, $3.57 million contract. The Panthers signed Sam Bradford to a 1-year, $3 million contract. Cardinals take left outside linebacker Keenan Robertson. Buccaneers get cornerback Brian Maxwell. The Patriots bringing in Greg Hardy on a 3-year deal. The Vikings signed Willie Young, a guy that I really like. He can make plays, and he got him super on the cheap, 1-year, $700K. The Browns signed Isaiah Crowell. They actually signed a bunch of running backs this offseason. I wouldn't be surprised if they draft one also. Isaiah gets a 2-year contract. The Jets take Zach Strief to a one-year deal at right tackle. Buccaneers sign tight end Cameron Boutre to a 2-year, $5.5 million deal. Browns sign left outside linebacker Jason Damac. Browns also signed Caleb Strogas to a 1-year, $1.17 million contract. Kickers and punters seem to get paid this offseason. Kicking is really tough this Madden, and a lot of kickers got a lot of money. Eagles signed right outside linebacker Adrius Galanton. Packers signed halfback Danny Woodhead. Bears signed tight end Gavin Escobar, 3-year deal, $10 million. Defensive tackle Mike Purcell goes over to the 49ers. Patriots get right tackle Michael Olay. Patriots are super active this offseason. You'll see that he had money to spend, and he tried to spend it really wise. He seems to be going the route of bringing in the aging veteran on the cheap to fill in his roster instead of using those draft picks. Cardinals replaced their kicker that they lost with Dustin Hopkins to a 3-year deal. Giants signed cornerback Jude, whatever his last name is, to a 1-year deal. Eagles signed left tackle Braden Albert to a 1-year deal. Rams signed Leon McFadden, to a 2-year deal. Saints bring in free safety Marcus Robertson to a 1-year deal. Bears signed cornerback Tremaine Johnson away from the Packers to a 3-year deal. Redskins get Aaron Williams, strong safety, on a 2-year deal. 49ers get Nick Mangold, who's still going to try to make some plays, shore up the center of that offensive line, on a 2-year deal. Not on the cheap, though, $7.9 million. Colts sign wide receiver Chester Rogers to a 2-year deal. Cowboys get Zach Mettenberger on a 2-year deal on the cheap. Patriots sign halfback Kristen Michael on a 2-year deal. Ravens get right outside linebacker Ray Armstrong to a 3-year deal. If anybody named Ray needs to be playing, he needs to be playing for the Ravens. Rams get tight end Chase Ford on a 2-year deal. Bears sign Darren Bates, right outside linebacker, to a 2-year deal. Colts get Dan Carpenter. See if I can delete my little emails that are popping up. On a 2-year deal. Packers sign Casey Redfern, punter, on a 3-year deal. Browns signed defensive tackle Ego Ferguson on a 3-year deal. Free safety DJ Swettinger goes to the Browns also on a 3-year deal. Redskins get wide receiver DeMarcus Smith on a 1-year deal. Kicker Kyle Forbath goes over to the Chiefs. Patriots get Andre Smith for a 3-year deal. Ravens get free safety Kamal Ishmael on a 3-year deal. 49ers get middle linebacker Kevin Riddick on a 2-year deal. Linebacker Marcus Rush is going to go over to the Lions on a 2-year deal. Bengals are going to get Ronald Blair III on a 3-year deal. 49ers get Brett Urban on a 2-year deal. Michael Othier, or whatever his last name is. You know what I'm talking about. Left tackle, he goes over to the Jets on a 2-year deal. Ravens, Tyvon Smith goes on a 3-year deal. The Cowboys get Michael Brockers. This was an interesting thing. He actually signed a 4-year deal, which isn't allowed here. Had to cut him, go back after him. He's still wanting 3 years, $28 million. It's going to be a good player for the Dallas Cowboys. The Browns get right outside linebacker Jackson Jeffcoat on a 2-year deal. Jackson can still run. It'll be an interesting player to see what the Browns can do with him. The Lions and Colts, 2 more active teams this offseason. Lions bring in Kenny Bell, who was on the Cardinals practice squad last season, on a 1-year deal. The Colts get middle linebacker DeQuell Jackson. They bring him back on a 1-year deal. 49ers have Kerry Wynn left in. He comes in on a 2-year deal. The Bills sign tight end Jordan Cameron on a 1-year deal. The Bills... Sorry about that. Some technical difficulties, but we got it. The Bills have been super active this offseason, and he tended to go for high-ranked guys who weren't getting a lot of offers, and he was able to bring them in on the cheap. Plus, he had money to spend. The Eagles bring in middle linebacker Will Compton on a 3-year deal. The Broncos signed quarterback Austin Davis to a 2-year deal. Saints bringing in A.J. McCarron on a 3-year deal. Patriots bring in right outside linebacker Carlos Dansby on a 1-year deal. Raiders signed Nick Novak on a 1-year deal. Bears signed fullback Chris Swan on a 1-year deal. Cowboys get A.J. Boyd on a 3-year deal. 49ers get Marcel Jensen, tight end, on a 1-year deal. Dolphins sign Kyle Pecco on a 3-year deal to go over and play defensive tackle for them. The Browns signed strong safety Bakari Rambo on a 2-year deal. Saints get left tackle Isaiah Battle on a 3-year deal. Colts signed kicker Greg Zerland to a 4-year deal. That's a mistake. I think they cut him because we got that all taken care of. Rams signed defensive tackle Serlinger Silvaga to a 3-year deal. Bears get left outside linebacker Lamin Barrow. Cowboys signed tight end Vernon Davis on a 2-year deal. The Titans bring in center Brian Swinky to a 3-year deal. The Bills signed kicker Brandon McKinnis to a 3-year deal. He gets almost $20 million. The guy can kick, and he's going to be kicking for a long time for the Bills. Redskins get right outside linebacker Thomas Davis. He lost a step, but the guy can still make plays. Good pickup for the Redskins, who are going to be improving that already very good defense. The Bills get defensive tackle Vince Wilfork to go and play a 1-year filler backup position. He gets a 1-year $7.43 million deal, so not bad for him. 49ers get linebacker Darius Eubanks to a 2-year deal. They also get cornerback Thurl Simon to a 2-year deal. The Colts get middle linebacker Freeman to a 1-year deal. The Cardinals sign left end Kenton Imai to a 1-year deal. The Colts get defensive tackle Stephen Paya to a 2-year deal. The Bills sign quarterback Geno Smith to a 1-year deal. He loves his mobile quarterbacks over in Buffalo. The Dolphins get right outside linebacker Chris McCain to come and play for them again, 2-year deal. Giants sign kicker Mike Nugent to a 1-year deal. Falcons sign fullback Blake Bell to a 2-year deal. The Giants also get cornerback Steve Williams to a 2-year deal. The Panthers get right guard Steven Wisniewski to a 3-year deal to come over and play for them. The Cardinals get right outside linebacker Jeremiah George to a 2-year deal. The Bengals sign punter Sam Martin to a 3-year deal. The Chargers get halfback Ronnie Hillman on a 3-year deal. The guy can still run, catch the ball, good screen guy, and throw down back. The Broncos are going to get wide receiver Jordan Norwood to a 1-year deal. Patriots sign Chris Baker to a 3-year deal. Bengals sign right outside linebacker Barcavius Mingo, LSU guy, going over there to a 3-year deal. Still needs some work, but the guy's got serious speed. The Chargers signed quarterback Mike Glennon to a 3-year deal to play backup for them. The Jets signed right tackle Mike Reimers to a 3-year deal. 49ers going to pick up 2 guys here. Wide receiver Jones on a 1-year deal and defensive tackle Josh Chapman to a 2-year deal. The Ravens signed tight end Hakeem Bowles, a guy that can run and catch the ball, 3-year deal there. Dolphins signed middle linebacker Zachary Ord to a 3-year deal. Packers signed cornerback Antonio Cromartie, still trying to make plays. He gets a 1-year, $2.53 million deal from the Packers. The Ravens signed quarterback Kevin Hogan to a 3-year deal. Bengals signed wide receiver Shane Wynn to a 1-year deal. Bengals get tight end Luke Wilson, somebody I was interested in. He gets him for a 2-year, $9.92 million deal. The Dolphins signed left guard Sebastian Volomir to a 2-year deal. Broncos get kicker Randy Bullock to a 3-year deal. The Broncos also get Derek Coleman, fullback, on a 3-year deal. The Vikings signed left tackle Ryan Schroeder to a 3-year deal. Panthers are going to get 2 guys here. Will Tyree on a 3-year deal and defensive tackle Ian Williams. Something going on over there in Charlotte with these different defensive tackles. He's trading them away. He's signing them big contracts. He's getting them as free agents. It's a weird thing he's got going on with a very good defensive line. You figured he'd just leave alone and keep who he's got. Buccaneers signed wide receiver Albert Wilson to a 3-year deal. Ravens signed cornerback Shaquille Richardson to a 3-year deal. Colts get wide receiver Quan Bray to a 1-year deal. Cardinals signed cornerback Rashad Robinson to a 1-year deal. Got him on the cheap. The guy can run. He can make plays. Why not give him a flyer and let him play backup for that kind of money? Rams are going to sign right outside linebacker Jaron Elliott to a 2-year deal. Bengals signed quarterback Jeff Driscoll to a 3-year deal. Kind of interesting to see some of these young quarterbacks who still need a lot of work get backup positions with, pretty decent money. Panthers are going to sign middle linebacker Nick Perry, a guy that can still run, to a 3-year deal. Rams, signed wide receiver Jarius Wright to a 3-year deal. Can't talk today, I'm sorry. Bengals signed free safety Lonnie Ballentine to a 3-year deal. Bills signed free safety Tyvon Branch to a 1-year deal. 49ers get wide receiver Aaron Dobson to a 2-year deal. The Bills signed center C.J. Treader to a 3-year deal. Chargers signed middle linebacker Demario Davis to a 3-year deal. Buccaneers get strong safety Tony Jefferson on a 3-year deal. Texans signed defensive tackle Bruce Gatson to a 3-year deal. There's the Cowboys signing that we had messed up, but he ended up bringing him back. Saints get halfback Paul Perkins on a 3-year deal. Saints are really trying to figure out the running back situation that they got over there. They've picked up some really interesting guys. It'll be intriguing to see if he can really improve that situation, even though that offensive line still needs some work. Panthers signed defensive tackle Hakeem Spence on a 3-year deal. Giants signed quarterback Brandon Allen to a 2-year deal. Lions signed cornerback Tremaine Johnson on a 4-year deal. That's why you've seen him re-sign him to a 3-year deal earlier. Defensive tackle Vincent Valentine takes a 3-year deal with the Bills. Chargers get defensive tackle Imelda Tamua to a 3-year deal. Patriots signed right end Jabal Sheard, another guy that's going back to New England, could still run. He gets a 3-year deal. Rams get free safety Nate Ebner to a 2-year deal. Browns get halfback Chris Thompson, a guy I had my eye on. He gets him at a 2-year deal. Bills signed Calais Campbell to a 1-year, $10 million deal. So Calais gets paid to go play defensive end for the Buffalo Bills. The Dolphins bring in cornerback Logan Ryan. That was an intriguing prospect. He got really paid, 3 years, almost $40 million. Browns signed wide receiver Marquez North to a 3-year deal. Jets get Paul Kruger to come in for 2 years. Dolphins get fullback, Ray Agnew to a 2-year deal. Eagles signed kicker Carlos Santos to a 3-year deal. Cowboys get left outside linebacker A.J. Klein away from the Panthers on a 3-year, $17 million deal. Colts get left outside linebacker Mike Morgan on a 1-year deal. Jets get quarterback Aaron Murray on a 1-year deal. Dolphins get right end Scott Kreitchen on a 3-year deal. The Cardinals get right outside linebacker Travis Freeney on a 3-year deal. Buccaneers get fullback Patrick DeMarco, the top-rated guy in the offseason, to a 2-year, $6 million deal. The Raiders signed middle linebacker Manti Te'o away from the Chargers on an $8 million deal. Falcons get Tyler Wilson to come in for 1 year. The Dolphins get free safety Marcus Cromartie to a 2-year deal. Dolphins also signed left end Tyrone Holmes to a 3-year deal. The Cowboys get cornerback Josh Robinson away from the Vikings to come play for 3 years. The Lions get Josh Bynes to come in for a 4-year deal. I think that either needs to be corrected or was corrected, because he can't have a 4-year deal. The Ravens are going to get left guard David Yankee to a 3-year deal. Rams signed left tackle Reed Fragel to a 2-year deal. Panthers get Ryan Gilly? I don't know. 3-year deal. Rams get Howard Jones to a 2-year deal. Browns get Ken Crawley for a 3-year deal. The Rams get Chandler Catanzaro. He gets him away from me. I was really mad about that, but he get paid 3 years, $15 million. Chargers get Ted Bossler away for a 3-year deal. Patriots also got DeMarcus Ware to come play for 1 year and got him on the cheap. The 49ers gets Chance Casey on a 1-year deal. The Buccaneers get Carl Bradford on a 3-year deal. Cardinals get fullback Tobin Ofram on a 3-year deal. Left tackle Jeremy Volkovich went on a 3-year deal to the Browns. Falcons get free safety Cody Davis on a 2-year deal. The Bills get strong safety Tyvis Powell on a 3-year deal. It's actually interesting. That guy actually played linebacker. So yeah, I gotta look into that. And then the Bears get left tackle Matt Khalil on a 3-year deal for $30 million. And that is a look. Maybe I'm wrong about the Bills. Anyway, I gotta look into that. So anyway, that is a look at how the free agency went this year. It was a lot of fun. Seemed to work really well. There was no big issues. Everything seemed to go really, really good. And I was super happy for everybody that participated. So the draft is coming up this Sunday. We have been testing a slider in a separate franchise that did get advanced. So if you need to get some user games, please try to get those in. I'd like to see 3 to 5 more games put in before we start the new season, just to see what these sliders look like, because I think they were really, really close. We just about got the nail on the head, because I think that just these tweaks, these last tweaks might do it for us. So I just like to see you guys play it, get a feel for it, and tell me. We're not looking for major tweaks. We're just looking to increase speed a little bit, just so that those running backs and linebackers don't act like they're stuck in the mud so much. So just to add a little bit of speed there. And we'd also like to improve the running. Just the running was really shut down last year. And other than some big plays, there really wasn't much running there, unless you got a toss or a sweep or something that broke for a big play. It was really impossible to run between the tackles with any kind of consistency. Even if you had a very, very good offensive line, such as I do, I still didn't rush for 1,000 yards. I'm an in-between the tackles runner, and it just was really impossible. So just want to tweak that a little bit. We also have tweaked the interception slider a little bit. A lot of dropped interceptions. That's kind of on purpose, because quarterbacks would throw for like 50 picks if every pick was caught. So we just want to increase that a little bit. Not quite as many dropped interceptions. I think our interception numbers are right there in line with the NFL. So I think our numbers are super close. We're just looking for minor tweaks, and I think that we're right there on the cusp. So we'd like for you to check that out. The draft is going to be this Sunday. It's by far one of the favorite things that I do. So we'll do a pre-draft show where I just break down with you my thoughts on what the draft looks like. I know a lot of guys hate this draft, and a few guys actually are excited about this draft. So it'll be interesting to see just how it breaks through and how guys actually pick and what guys really think about this draft as it's over. The reason it's my favorite draft is because it's the first one, and these are the players that you'll get the most time with. And so I'm always intrigued to have the most time to develop my players, and you'll be able to do that with this draft. Every draft after this, you get less and less time with them, so those draft picks lose value, and your time with them to really develop them really becomes less and less. And so the higher picks matter, and the back picks really don't matter all that much. So there's a look at where we're at. The draft's going to be Sunday. Like I said, the pre-draft show will start at 8 o'clock Central. The draft will actually start at 8:30. If everyone's around and ready to go, we'll go ahead and start it a little early. But I think that is what we're going to stick to. I'd like to see us get through it as fast as possible to help our our West Coast friends who are stuck trying to stay up late. And I don't want to make them do that. And so the quicker that we can make those picks and get through it, the better it's going to be for all of us. So there you have it. Thanks for tuning in to the show this week. I'm sorry that was just me. Brady did say he's going to be back in action here very soon, so hopefully he'll join me for the draft. I know Dux isn't going to be able to make it. I'm trying to talk Chaotic into doing it, but I doubt he's going to, so he may just be stuck with me. Not sure that my voice is quite up to be able to handle a 3+ hour draft show, but we're going to give it our very best shot, and we'll have some fun. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for joining us on the show this week. We'll get this all edited and put out for you so that you can listen to it. Our next shows will be live again. We'll try to do those on Saturdays. I had a pretty full day today, and Brady didn't tell me if he was going to be free. So I wanted to knock this out for you, and I appreciate you tuning in. All right, fellas, we'll see you on Sunday. Thanks for everything. New season starting soon. Exciting time to be here in the OMFL. Peace out. All right, I'm sorry about that. We are back for the third time. This thing is giving us a hard time tonight, but let's keep talking about free agency here in round one. I just would like to cover all these for you. Baker goes over to the Patriots. Mingo over to the Bengals. Wilson over to the Bills. Wilson over to the Bucks. I don't know how you would say that. Cassandra? Whatever his name is. He signs a 3-year deal over 15.6. It was amazing to me what kickers got this past offseason. It was actually a kicker that I felt like I was sniped on, but I wasn't. He actually did everything up and up. Like I said, there was really no sniping. I will say, though, I logged into Advance, and I just wanted to check my bids. Seen that I was outbid for him, and so I was like, I'm going to put in one more bid. I made up a number, put it in, because I don't see what that number is. put in that bid, submitted. It was too low, so I said, fine, I lost him. So I lost my kicker. He went over to the Rams right here. Was really excited about trying to bring him back. Reimers goes over to the Jets. Kruger goes over to the Jets. Volomir goes over to the Dolphins. Davis goes over to the Cowboys. Martin goes over to the Bengals. Te'o goes over to the Raiders. Brings his girlfriend with him, but you can't see her. Klein goes over to the Cowboys. Siglia goes over to the Rams. Quigley goes over to the Panthers. Nugent goes over to the Giants. Wright over to the Rams. Treader to the Bills. Tameo over to the Chargers. Spence over to the Panthers. Hillman over to the Chargers. You'll kind of see the rest of them here. Now we're starting to get into players that are going to be primarily backups. So overall, I felt like it was very successful round one. I really like how Madden has changed it to be more realistic, where most players do sign in round one. I thought that was a good pickup from the Browns. Probably shouldn't have said anything to him about there being a good running back out there, because I really want to go and get this guy. But Browns get a good running back, even though he's still trying to figure out what he's doing with his team. But anyway, these were all really good pickups. This was a good first round. The shocking part to me was how much kickers were paid. Kickers really got a lot of money this offseason. I know that kicking has been difficult, and I think guys are realizing just how difficult it is to kick, and so they want to spend the extra money to go out there and get that kicker to be a playmaker for them. So a lot of guys got really nice contracts. I think what's going to be interesting is to see with regression how many of these guys become free agents again, because they get regressed, they have a fat contract, and they get cut. Another nice pickup for the Browns, somebody that I was battling him for. The Browns really were able to pick up a few nice pieces for their team. And there you go. That is all of the free agents that signed, minus my free agents, because they are listed under my signings. But it was a very good round one of free agency, and I'm excited to kind of see how round two and round three is going to play out. The draft is going to be this Sunday. I'm sorry, it's giving me some technical difficulties here, so I was just trying to mess with it. But I'm excited to see how the draft is going to turn out. The draft is this Sunday at 8:30 p.m. The draft show will be at 8. If everyone is around, we may start a little early, because I know that is going to be super late for the East Coasters. We moved it back 30 minutes to help the West Coasters, but again, it's a catch-22. I think next year we're going to start with a standard like 7 o'clock time, and I'm just going to pick those times ahead of time, because we got to really find something that isn't too late for the East, isn't too early for the West, but it's not going to make everybody happy. It just doesn't work that way. So it's been a really successful offseason so far. The two things that I've been slightly disappointed about has been the lack of interest in our slider test. It's been very few people that actually signed up to take a team, been even less games user versus user. Just doesn't seem to be a lot of energy to try to do that, and we really need to get these sliders tested. They do need some small adjustments from our regular season that just ended, and I really wanted to see more guys buy into that. I gave that to the teams who didn't make the playoffs as something that they could do to keep them busy, help the league, and still continue to play, and yet no one really bought into that. Because of that, I am slightly disappointed. So, if you're in the test franchise, please help us out. Get some user games in. Don't worry about your team. Don't worry about who you are. Swap teams, move around, get some user versus user games just to get a feel for the running game and the speed. Those seems to be the two things, and the quarterback pressure that we're really working on, just slightly adjusting. So help us out with that. Post your thoughts. Let us know what you think. Also, the other thing that I was slightly disappointed in is that really throughout the season, there seemed to be not a billion complaints. We kind of ebbed and flowed we had moments where there were a lot of complaints, but overall, guys were really finding a way to play, to be a man about it, and to be cool about it and figure it out. That was until the off-season got here. And the salt content in the postseason this past year was high. And that salt content tends to cause people to be thirsty. If you don't know what thirsty means, just type !thirst in the chat and you'll see what thirsty means to us here in the OMFL. I just was really disappointed in the petty complaints and amount of footage that we had to watch, and just the overall bad gameplay and complaining. As the games began to matter more, guys really tended to lean towards that line of non-strategic gameplay. Brady watched all of the games that were complained about, and to be honest, it seemed like on both sides, both teams were really getting away from strategic gameplay and were really hovering on that line throughout the playoffs. And so that was disappointing. That's something I hope that we can change for this next season, this new season. I really think we got some great guys here. Most of the guys are very active, and so it's been a good season. It's been a good off season, and I can't wait to see how the rest of this kind of finishes up. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to have an advance tomorrow, and then another advance on Friday, and then Friday and Saturday we'll just be sitting there as we wait for the draft to start. I will start a draft show 30 minutes before the draft where I will just kind of cover some pre-draft thoughts of who I think can go where and what I think could happen as the draft kind of progresses. And then as the draft takes place, we'll have the chat up that I'm on now in voice chat. We will also have our chat program up to where you can join that, and I can actually take call-ins. I can't take it in the regular chat program because there's no recording feature there, and so only my voice would show up and not yours. And then, of course, I will have open the PlayStation remote of my Twitch feed, and you guys can be able to watch that if you so choose. So I can't wait for the draft show. It's one of my favorite things that take place. I will hang in there for the entire draft if my voice hangs in there with me. I'm still recovering from my surgery a month ago, and so we'll see if the voice hangs in there. If the voice hangs in there, I'll gladly do the entire draft. Hopefully we'll get some call-ins. Hopefully we'll get Brady to join us. Hopefully Ducks and Chaotic, get those guys to come be a part of the show. So with that said, I appreciate all the effort and energy that you guys are bringing to the league. We added another 4 or 5 platinum members this past week, and so it's been really good. I'm really looking forward to the draft on Sunday and then the start of the new season by Monday night. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time, and I can't wait to see how things play out. So for the board, Chaotic, and all of the leadership here at Grown Folks in the OMFL, I appreciate you tuning in to the show tonight. I will see you at the draft on Sunday, 8 o'clock sharp Central. The pre-draft show will start, and we will see you there. Peace out, fellas.